What's up, everybody? Hope y'all are having a productive and enjoyable week so far. Let me know down in the comments whether you're watching this live or on the replay, where you're coming from, city and state, and then we're going to get into it. So this video is for you if you're somebody who struggles to be consistent with your health and fitness goals after 30, 60, 90 days, right? Like you go through these stretches and these periods where you're really serious, you're all in, and then when your motivation wanes, you stop doing the work. So this video is going to be for you if that's what you struggle with. Specifically for my type A guys, my ex-athletes, my sales pros, the type of guys I usually work with on this type of thing. And I'm here to talk about why accountability is what you actually need. Not just another workout, not just another diet plan, nothing like that. As I found the mistakes that a lot of guys make like this is they'll do something like 75 hard, and when they can't stay consistent with it, their answer is, anytime they fall off with their health, their answer is, let me just do another round of 75 hard. Or, let me switch from this. Keto wasn't working. Let me try this diet. This program didn't work. Let me try looking up this workout program. And let me do what my friend's doing. And it's always addressing the strategy, but it's never addressing what you actually need, which is accountability. And I'm going to dive into why I think that is. A lot of this, let's be real, guys. And I don't say this to shame and guilt you guys, because I've dealt with the same thing in my life, which is why I know. I know a lot of this comes down to ego, especially if you played a sport in the past and you know your way around the gym. I don't know who just hopped on and say what's up. There's a lot of ego involved, especially if you know your way around the gym, you know how to eat right, like you know what to do, but you're just not doing the work kind of thing. There's a lot of ego that comes involved with asking for help, especially as men, right? Like let's just call it what it is, man. I struggled with this my whole life. It took me 5-6 years to actually reach out for help for somebody on this goal, and I probably would have gotten to my fitness goals a lot sooner if I had been open to that type of learning. But in your case, maybe you're somebody who struggles with this. You kind of get to a point, especially if you've played a sport or something, you get to the point where you're like almost ashamed that you need help. You're like, damn, I know what to do. I know how to work out. I know how to eat right. I know how to meal prep. I know how to do all the things. I'm just not doing the work. You almost get to the point where you feel like you shouldn't need help. So you feel weak for even getting to that point. You feel a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of frustration with yourself for why you're not consistent with the things that you already know how to do. And like I say, I don't say this to attack you guys, because I've been there as well. But for y'all, it's like maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the thought process, not reaching out for help, not getting the accountability you need from people who can actually help you is what's keeping you stuck. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that you're not doing the work that you know how to do. It's never about strategy. We know and even if you don't know what to do, I'm sure you guys are smart enough to figure it out. I mean, y'all could look this stuff up on YouTube and Google, and y'all can figure out the simple stuff in order to, I got plenty of free resources. If you really wanted to, you could go through my Facebook, you go through my free Facebook group and really figure this shit out. But that's not always enough to get you guys to take action. Sometimes you need that little bit of kick in the ass and just some accountability to help you guys. And just talking about why I think accountability is the game changer for most people, because I've seen the trend throughout the years with everybody I've worked with, is chances are you guys don't have someone in your life who cares enough to hold you accountable. And I don't mean like nobody cares about what you got going on. Like if you got a wife who supports you, that's one thing. Or you got friends and a social circle who supports you and coworkers, they want to see you do well. I don't mean this in a malicious way, but you guys don't truly have someone where you could bounce ideas off and really get their opinion and their input and have them challenge you at a high level on this stuff. And case in point, a lot of times when I talk to guys about their fitness goals, like one of the first things I ask them is what they're actually working towards. Because if you don't have a clear goal, if you have a vague goal, you're going to have vague actions and you're not really going to get anywhere. You're going to be spinning your wheels year after year. You're going to be doing the work, but doing it for no reason, right? So when I ask people what their goals are, a lot of times it's almost like the first time that somebody's asking that question. It's almost like they're saying this new concept that they haven't talked about before, because they've never had to bounce these ideas off of other people, because people don't really care about their goals enough to hold them accountable and talk to them about this type of stuff. So sometimes even just something as simple as asking them what their goals are is like the first time they've ever had that conversation. Jameer, what's going on, bro? It's been a while. Good to hear from you. So like I said, sometimes that's the first time that they hear, sometimes that's the first time they've had a conversation like that. And that just goes to show you guys, sometimes, not to speak for everyone, but sometimes y'all don't have people in your lives who care enough about your goals to actually help you get there and hold you accountable to that. The reason for that is because people got their own shit going on. And some of y'all know you need accountability, but you go about it the wrong way. You get that flaky accountability partner. Y'all start working out for a week and then he starts bailing because shit came up with the family, or he's busy at work, or he just doesn't feel like going. And you're taking advice and being held accountable by people who struggle with the same shit as you. So when they flake, guess what happens to you? You flake as well, right? So some people know they need accountability, but they go about it the wrong way. And then other guys, it's like they don't have anyone in their proximity that they're surrounded by who actually pulls them towards their goals instead of holds them back. And just being real, like this is one I hear a lot. Like some of y'all are just hyper disciplined and you're go-getters and you're gonna do it yourself. Like y'all get up early to go to work and y'all gonna put in the extra hours and stay late and nobody really cares. But when it comes to your health and fitness, if you wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym before work, or before you got to take the kids to school or to daycare, or whatever the case is, nobody's clapping for y'all. And inversely, if you don't do it, nobody's gonna call you out on it either. It's just kind of like you're on your own. You're just on an island and no one really gives you that feedback in terms of whether or not you're moving towards your goals. So I know from a motivation standpoint, not to say y'all do this for other people or you need to get in shape for other people or your goals should be or like you do it for the accolades, but sometimes when you don't get that feedback, it's very hard to stay motivated, especially in the short term. If you early on, you don't know whether or not you're making progress. And one thing I found is like y'all type A guys, my guys who work in sales, my guys who are ex-athletes, you guys can also almost sell yourselves on why you're not doing the work. Like y'all be going hard for 30 days straight and then some shit comes up at work and it's a busy quarter. You got to meet your quota at the end of the month. You're going to justify why you didn't go to the gym after work at the end of the month, why you took a week off. You're going to justify it because you had to do what you had to do financially at work for your family. You had to show up for your family. You had to show up for whoever, right? It's very easy for you to sell yourself on it and no one's going to call you out on it because it sounds noble. Oh yeah, he had to work. Of course he couldn't go to the gym. He had to close out the month strong. No one's going to call you out and tell you that doesn't make sense. That sounds very rational to most people who have to handle their business, especially people who struggle with the same thing as you. So I'm telling you guys, like in order to step into a new perspective, sometimes y'all need somebody to challenge you on your current patterns of thinking that got you to where you are. That's why I think accountability is so important. And just to let you guys in on a little secret, I say 9 out of 10 people I work with, they don't come to me for workouts and nutrition advice and knowledge and teaching. Sure, there's some of that in there, but they really come to me for accountability. That's the secret. They come to me to be held at a higher standard and to be challenged on their current patterns of thinking and to get them to do the work. Whether they like it or not, it's not always comfortable. Accountability is not always fun, but I look at it as one of the most important parts of your health and fitness. So that's a little bit about why I think accountability is so valuable and why I think it's not as simple as having the right strategy, because sometimes people will have the right strategy. They'll even have the right mentality. They'll have the work ethic. They'll have all the intention of the world of doing the work, but for whatever reason, they just won't fucking do it. So it's like, so maybe if that's you watching this, maybe accountability is that thing that's going to push you over the edge. And when I say accountability, I don't mean in this weird type of hand holding way where it's like somebody's babying you and holding your hand the whole way. That's not what I do with people. I'm talking about challenging you and holding you to a high standard and just guiding you on how to do the work. That's it, man. Because at the end of the day, you still got to show up for yourself. So that's what I mean when I say accountability. And just in terms of what I do now as an online health coach and how I help people with this thing, I remember I've always wanted to help people in this sense, but I used to do it as an in-person trainer. So for those of y'all who don't know, when I was like all the way from when I was 19 up to like 23, I was working in the gym, commercial gym as a personal trainer, and I realized there was no system to hold people accountable. They were paying all this money every month, coming in to train with me a couple times a week, and the only thing I was helping them with was their workouts. So they would go home, we would have a great workout, and then they would go home and eat like shit. And there we go. They would go home and eat like shit. They wouldn't sleep enough. They'd be drinking alcohol. They would pretty much just mess up all the work that we did in the gym, and I would wonder why they weren't getting results. And so would they. And I realized it's because we don't have a system to hold them accountable, right? Like, because if I wasn't working with you as a client, I'm working with another client, or I'm on this, I'm cold calling, I'm on the floor talking to potential clients, that type of stuff. So there was no real system to hold people accountable as a personal trainer, which is why I stopped doing that to do what I do now, just structure my business online. So it's been a lot more productive that way. And one of the things I've learned over the past 3 years of me doing this full time is how powerful accountability was. I don't think I realized that when I first got into it, but when I realized what people come out of the program and what they actually get value from, it's the accountability. It's not me teaching them how to count their macros. It's not the workouts. Like, you can figure all that shit out on your own if you really want to. It's really being challenged and held accountable to do the fucking work that you know you're supposed to do. So with that said, I'm here to help, but I can't help everyone. I got a bunch of free resources that y'all can see on my page. I got a free Facebook group with a bunch of free resources and training there. Post content damn near every day, stuff like this. And I work with a few people here and there. So look, if you guys are serious and you want to get to the next level with your health and fitness goals, and you feel like accountability is the one area you're struggling, then I'd love to hear from you, man. Just reach out and say hello. I'm not going to hardcore pitch you on anything if it doesn't make sense. Just want to ask a few questions to see if I can help. And if not, that's cool too. Just let me know your comments. Let me know your takeaways below. If you'd like to join my free Facebook group, shameless plug, comment below. I will add you to that as well. But other than that, hope to hear from you guys soon, and I hope you guys found this video helpful.